How many people in this room want to leave this planet worse for your children and the future generations than it is today? And how many want to actually try to make a difference from the destructive ways that mankind has been treating the planet Earth? If everyone just tried to do a little bit more than they do today, we could easily turn the tides from the destructive path that we are on right now and have a much happier and healthier existence than we do right now. Global warming is caused by mankind, and most of the people in this room are in the beginning of their lives and should want to make a change for the better of themselves and future generations. Continuing on the same path that we are on now will lead to unchangeable effects that will make life on this planet unenjoyable and uninhabitable. So today, I will first define my terms, I will set the limits of my debate, and I will prove my case in the following applications. Now that I have introduced my debate, I will define my terms. I will define what I mean when I say mankind, global, and warming. I define mankind as every human being on the planet Earth. I define global as the entire planet Earth, and I define warming as the increase in the temperature of the planet Earth. Now that I've defined my terms, I'll set my limits. I will allow the discussion of how many carbon emissions mankind releases on a daily basis. I will allow the discussion of the rising ocean level from the melting of the polar ice caps is caused by mankind. I will not allow the discussion that mass production is needed to further mankind, therefore justifying the massive amount of carbon emissions released on a daily basis. I will not allow the discussion that the Earth is going through a cycle of warm years and that it has happened before. Now that I have set my limits, I will move on to my applications. As written by Zeke Hosfather on December 13, 2017 on the website Carbon Brief, since 1850, almost all the long-term warming can be explained by greenhouse gas emissions and other human activities. Mr. Hosfather goes on to explain that since 1850, almost all the long-term warming can be explained by greenhouse gas emissions and other human activities. Human emissions and activities have caused around 100% of the warming observed since 1950. It's even stated in his article that 93% to 123% of observed carbon emissions released from 1951 to 2010 was due to human activities. This led to confusion as to how it could be so high. Mr. Hosfather states that human contribution is greater than 100% because natural climate change associated with volcanoes and solar activity would most likely have resulted in a slight cooling over the past 50 years, offsetting some of the warming associated with human activities. Mankind emits a large amount of emissions every day, will be proven by the article written by climate scientist Elisa Occo on an unknown day in 2021 called "Scientists Have No Doubt That Humans Are Causing Global Warming" on the website www.edf.org. She clearly states that mankind adds 70 million metric tons of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere daily. That is, there's 40% more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere since the Industrial Revolution. Lastly, 97% of scientists say humans are responsible for global warming. When mankind causes global warming, it leads to the melting of the polar ice caps, which causes the rise in sea levels all over the globe. In the article, Causes of Sea Level Rise, published on April 16, 2013 on the website Union of Concerned Scientists, it states that sea levels are rising at an accelerating rate, especially along the U.S. East Coast and Gulf of Mexico. Global average sea level rose approximately 8 inches from 1880 to 2009. The global average sea level rise accelerated from 1993 to 2008. It increased 65 to 90%. With North America being one of the worst areas for rising sea levels, this causes great concern for coastal cities that are all spread all over both coasts of the United States. In the article Causes of Global Warming, How Scientists Know That Humans Are Responsible, written by Samantha Harrington on March 27, 2020 on the website Yale Climate Connections, it is again agreed on that 97% of scientists agree that humans are the cause of global warming. It states that natural causes alone are inadequate to explain the recent observed changes in climate. When these scientists designed computer models of climate change for planet Earth, only when they include human influence of the composition of the atmosphere are the resulting changes of temperature consistent with observed changes. These conclusions are stronger because they are based on observed and not simply modeled global temperatures. Now that I have proven my case, I will now conclude my debate. Global warming is caused by mankind. I have proven this by defining my terms, setting my limits, and proving my case through the applications. In closing, if all of mankind does not do their part to stop global warming, then we will not have a planet that our children and other children can live on and continue to prosper and have a happy and healthy life.